Basically, since the very beginning of the Trump administration, we have seen a number of changes to immigration policies that are having far-reaching impacts on the communities we're all working with. Probably the first and foremost, probably the most important and most wide-reaching change has been the effective elimination of any priorities for enforcement and the elimination of the use of prosecutorial discretion. You can see here what they are calling priorities, but the truth is that they have essentially told us, Immigration and Customs Enforcement has essentially told us that they really don't have any priorities at all. And this can really be seen in the fact that they have eliminated any kind of categorical approach to the use of prosecutorial discretion. They're basically saying that anyone that they come across is open to the full enforcement of the law against them. And so that means that they're more than willing to go after what you might consider the low-hanging fruit. And I'll show you in a little bit kind of what that means. One thing we do still have that provides some protection for people is the sensitive locations memo that was issued by the Obama administration back in 2011. And basically what the sensitive locations memo has said is it said to ICE there are certain locations that you should not conduct certain types of enforcement actions. You can see here those actions are arrests, interviews, searches, and surveillance. And the locations covered, although this is not an exclusive list, but what they specify are schools, hospitals, houses of worship, and sites of public demonstration. So if you have a rally, that's supposed to be covered by the sensitive locations memo. One important thing that that's missing from here, a couple of important things really, is one, this does not cover the immediate vicinity. So parents dropping their children off at schools, they can be right outside the school. They're still open to enforcement actions against them. It also does not cover courthouses, which has been a real problem of late. ICE is relying very heavily on going to courthouses to start picking folks up. Another important thing to keep in mind is that this is just a memo from Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This could be rescinded at any time. There is a bill in Congress, it's called the Protecting Sensitive Locations Act, that would actually codify this memo. For those who are interested, in the Senate, it's S-845, and the House, it's H.R. 1815. And not only would it codify this memo, it would actually add courthouses to the list. The other thing we're seeing right now is not only the administration going after people who are undocumented or eligible for removal from the country, but they're actually taking away legal status from folks. And we're seeing hundreds of thousands of individuals who have some sort of legal status or lawful presence who are now starting to lose it. DACA, of course, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, is the big one. And as you can see here, what they did on September 5th, they made this announcement. They were stopped accepting any initial applications for DACA as of September 5th. For people who had status expiring between September 5th and March 5th of next year, they set an October 5th deadline for them to apply for that renewal. For people whose status expired after March 5th of next year, they're out of luck. As of that date, they will essentially be going back to being undocumented. Temporary protected status is another place where we're seeing this. And you can see here the list of countries that are currently designated for temporary protected status. With Haiti, we saw only a 6-month extension of TPS, and that's going to expire on January 22nd of 2018. And we should know by November 22nd what they intend to do, if they will extend it again, or if they will just let TPS lapse for that country, for Haitians. El Salvador will expire on March 9th, and we should know about January 9th what they intend to do on that. We have seen a number of countries, Nicaragua and Sudan in particular, and along with Haiti really, where they've provided short extensions of it and said at that time that these folks should use the time left to prepare to leave the country. And incidentally, they actually said the same thing about DACA, that DACA recipients should be using this time left to prepare to leave the country. Another thing that we're seeing this administration doing is really going after children in a big way. DACA is one aspect of it, but they're also trying to redefine unaccompanied minors. Now, unaccompanied minors traditionally have been defined as children under the age of 18 who come in without a parent or guardian. And there's certain advantages to being classified as an unaccompanied minor. One, you have the right to an affirmative asylum case. Two, you're not going to be detained. You'll be placed in ORR custody, Office for Refugee Resettlement, and they will place you with a sponsor family. And three, you're not subjected to expedited removal, which means at the very least, you will get a chance to see an immigration judge. This administration is basically trying to dramatically narrow the definition of unaccompanied minors so that these protections will not apply to a number of the children who are coming into the country. Next thing you've got are what they've been doing with refugees. We saw the two earlier travel bans, and one of the things they said in that is that they're doing a 120-day review of the vetting process. That expired on October 24th. That day they issued a new executive order talking about basically how they've increased. They didn't really give any specifics, but they said they've increased the vetting of these refugees. But at the same time, there was another memo that was issued the day before that called for a 90-day review of refugees coming from 11 specific countries. Those countries, well, I should say 11 countries that aren't actually specified. We don't know what countries they are. That list is kept classified. That same memo also said that they're doing additional screenings of family members of individuals who've already been admitted as refugees. And on top of that, they've cut the total number of refugee admissions for the current fiscal year down to only 45,000. The Obama administration for fiscal year 2017 had set it at 110,000. Then you've got the newest version of the travel ban. And so you can see here the countries are affected. Some countries, they're basically saying no one can come in. Iran, they're limiting it basically only to student visas. Immigrants and visitors from Chad, Libya, and Yemen are banned. Immigrants from Somalia are banned. And Venezuela, they're banning travel visas for government officials and their families. And just to finish off with a few statistics, as of the end of September, we've seen a 45% increase in ICE arrests. This has included a threefold increase in non-criminal arrests versus last year. And lastly, we've also seen a huge increase in the backlogs in immigration court. In 2008, there were 186,000 pending cases. Last year, under the Obama administration, that had increased to 516,000. Now it's at just about 630,000. It represents a 113,000 increase over last year. And I will end it there. Thank you.